welcome back to, welcome to Season 2 of Starfall, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game featuring the fantastic supplement Lasers and Liches. We hope that you've checked it out since you may have watched through Season 1, and if not, you should. Links are down in the doobly-doo. Our heroes, no. Our protagonists, no. Our player characters, well, had solved one mystery and landed upon a few others and took a little bit of an evening to rest with their new Winari buddies. For Sumosaur, they're fans.
Comrades.
Comrades, good. You're, the enemy of my enemy.
People in
is
the vicinity.
People in the vicinity that are working with similar ends to you.
Stuff that don't want to kill us.
Yeah. In that evening, you all have some conversation with folks with Winari who have gone to the Shining Expanse, which is the ocean that is south of you, and get an understanding of the layout of the land as well as a map of the land. So you've got a guide to get you there. And these things they want you to succeed. Therefore, this helps with the succeeding. The region to the south of the desert is anciently volcanic. It has really interesting landscapes. You're going to be going along a river called the Restless Channel. To your west will be the Dry Mountains, not your west, to the west. And to the east is the Billowy Blight Basin, which I am so proud of the name of that. So you've really got like this good strip of land with a river in it right in the middle of these two areas that are much less habitable. So it's not a very populous area. And there's I have a bunch of information about that, and I'll go over it as we get to the big chunks. It's also in your player journals. You're not going to see really another town until you get to Roytford, which is nearly to the Delta. So if you need to do any trading, they may not have a lot of stuff, these Winari, but if you have anything that you need to exchange for, now is the time to try to do it. And you can set that up in the evening, but an interesting thing happens for all of you. After an evening of your setting a warding, soothing a child, and eventually sleeping, you all have a dream where you are interviewed by someone. And you're familiar with Neocog Entertainment. That's a real news source from Lake Miramar, but each of you wakes up and you're like, well, that was an interesting dream. Or however you want to feel about it, depending on what your experience was like being interviewed. Leela Monkhouse is not a name of someone that you recognize and is not a real newscaster that you're aware of in your world. Wee. Tuesday, you slept in the box?
Yeah.
Are you, so eventually Roz wakes up and I assume did you just stay in there until she's awake?
Mm-hmm.
She wakes up and, stretches and is like a kid for a minute and looks around, and then she walks over to you and says, "My mom says you're okay and I can trust you." And then
I'm
she
very
asks,
glad to hear that.
And then she asks for breakfast. Not from you, from the automaton. She asks for breakfast from M. Hastings.
Does he have breakfast to provide?
You guys have all the food in there, so yes. Yes, he does.
Oh, right.
Was her mom in our brains? Oh my god.
I mean, you don't You don't know all these things. You have to talk to each other to know these things.
Well, then we're
Anyway.
screwed.
Well, it's not that big a backyard.
No.
Well, I will say no more out of character.
Ever
right.
again.
So I move you back over to the cave that you're in with everyone. And it doesn't super load everything up, but
Does
yeah.
anyone have cooking proficiency? Cooking tools?
I mean,
no.
you have the Wanari have a literal chef, and they also camped there that evening.
My agent told me I couldn't keep bringing pots and pans around.
Well, the actual tools themselves are easy to find. It's the skill to use them.
Diamond, in my head, their chef's personality just takes everything very seriously. They have a literal chef.
Just the grimmest, dourest. Here's your food.
Or just like that Drax thing of doesn't recognize sarcasm. Nothing goes over my head. I'm too fast for it.
That's me. It's me in real life. Anyway. So just so you know, the Wanari have a chef if you're just trying to eat food, but
Well,
what are you all doing?
I'm just gonna blow one of my channel divinities for the day, and I'll cook breakfast. For the next for 10 solid minutes, I'll get everything together, and for 10 solid minutes, I just work my balls off while I still know how to use cooking tools. Bang up a breakfast.
Roll some exciting dice. Let's see what kind of bangers you got for breakfast. Are you doing a British breakfast? Because since I said bangers, now
Well, I
it
am
needs to
evil,
be.
so
Wow.
Yeah.
A special thank you to all of our British viewers. We'll miss you.
I don't
Night,
understand
everybody.
I don't understand your breakfasts. I don't beans.
I just mean
and
anybody who would serve anybody who's not British food.
slice of tomato.
Like I said, night, everybody.
Or good morning. Let's see if there's any way I can unsuckify that roll, but I don't think so without a big deal. So that makes it, since it can't critically fail, I think that makes it. Boy, it's been a minute since I played this character. Sorry. An 8. I'll guidance myself. If I can do it after the roll.
Aren't
Only
you
a
supposed
9.
to do it after you before?
Yeah, usually
But
it's been a
been
long time
minute
since I played a
since you've
cleric.
character, so this time, sure. But
Thanks for the mulligan. It was only a 1 anyway, so it got me to a 9. So it is.
have you ever played The
breakfast.
Sims?
Yeah.
When they're learning to cook and they're eating it and going clap, clap. So, I mean, nobody got their eggs how they wanted, but it's not poisoning them.
All of the dishes are dirty. All of them. I used all of the dishes.
Exactly like someone who's not used to cooking. You may know how to use it, but you're a hell in a kitchen.
I didn't actually need that, but I didn't realize it until I'd used it.
Anyway, so there's food, sort of. Are you all in the box then?
No.
No. I know that Tuesday slept in the box, and I know that the kids slept in the box, but Sumasaur slept near fan. I was gonna say with fans, and that didn't come out quite right. You could have, you totally got groupies there if you want to. And while the teenager is not present, is definitely the time if we're gonna do this. It's now.
No. You know, I have another character in another game that's kind of almost getting too horny on main, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna for this I'm not gonna go that route.
All right. And Friendly, were you in the box or in the?
Yes.
You okay? So you're cooking breakfast in the box.
Rook is out of the box.
Okay. Well, they eat it.
Thanks, everyone. I'll do better next time.
I'll try some of that. I'll also eat some of my food that I have. Like.
Oh, you can have the rest of mine.
Oh, I thought you were making it for other people too.
I did. You can have all of the rest of this.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
no,
No, go for it,
no.
please.
That's
Someone has to
great.
eat it.
I'm
I don't want to feed it all to Rook.
I'm gonna eat this. I've started this bun already. I'm just.
I appreciate you all being so polite about this.
David, you're muted.
I'm polite about it. I'm quiet, but I don't need it. Like my cat person knows can tell without eating it that no.
Roz does not
I'll
eat
also
it.
try the Winari breakfast.
It's just raw meat.
No, it's more than just raw meat, but it is very meat based and is much better.
It's 5 kinds of raw meat in a pile, and they call it a salad.
He made bad egg salad, and they made like breakfast tacos. Like I don't know what to tell you. There's meat in one of these. It's cilantro, therefore it's better. Oh, this episode brought to you by my love of cilantro.
Alternately, for 30% of the population, the worst thing ever.
Yeah, sucks to be you. More for me. So I lost the list of their names. I'm sorry. I don't remember any of these characters' names now. It's somewhere. I haven't found it. What?
The Red Claws?
No.
Those ones?
It's not going to matter in 2 minutes, and I know it's somewhere. But the primary one you were speaking to, the ostensibly the leader of this group,
Kyle.
who is also a clan. Sure, he can be Kyle for right now. Who is also a clan leader, big tough guy. He approaches y'all. If you're in the box, he's gonna knock and like stick his head in. Like.
Rook would have let us know he's coming.
Okay. So parlay
Not
before.
to meet him.
How long before you all plan on getting on the road?
If you had a druid check the weather today?
Don't have a druid.
More's pity you.
Where's yours?
Sleeping, as usual.
Lazy.
Well, where you're going, it's not the time of year for there to be a lot of weather.
Perfect.
Exactly. Thunderstorm year. It tends to be pretty mild and boring.
Then, unless you're really enjoying my company, I don't see a reason we'd stay much longer.
Do y'all need anything before we pack up and head out? Do we need to figure out anything else?
How are we for supplies? Just looking at the group generally, like ammo.
I loaded up last time we hit a shop.
I think we're all right.
I got my guns loaded.
Even with your steed from here to Roytford is about 5 days.
Easy job.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's just shooting things nonstop, I think I'll be fine.
Oh, so we should double down. Is that what you're saying? All right. Well,
he pulls something from behind his back and flips it at you.
I put my hand on my gun and then I take it off.
So a small copper ring bounces against you. That's for your druid. She's probably going to need it once you get to Boonarest.
Much appreciated.
It's a small copper ring. Has no apparent value.
I will set it aside. I don't know. I assume she's in the box,
Yeah, where there's sun.
right?
So a thing that you guys noticed while staying in the box is that there is no day-night cycle in there. It's just sunny the whole time.
Wow.
So this time I'm not going to make you roll for exhaustion, but that is going to happen in the future if you stay in the box. Because it sucks.
You can't just cover your face and sleep.
No, cloth is porous.
Who said cloth?
Anyway.
There's if you've ever been anywhere with a daytime sun or had to work graveyards, like there's so few things that actually really block light.
Enough to sleep really well. Anyway. This is a thing that wasn't noted well in the past, but I'm noting well for the future. Because,
Good note.
there's a lot of pieces of data, dang it. All right. So if there's no further things that need to happen, you will part ways amicably, roughly speaking. And you have about 4 hours of travel until the start of the map. From this canyon to where the map begins. Are you doing it in the same way that you had been? Are you the ridiculous steed and the tensor disc? Is this your mode of travel now?
I think that's the method. I mean,
Okay.
400 miles per hour or whatever it is hard to beat, or 400 feet per minute, something like that. I'll look up the spell again, but it's hard to beat overland.
How are you all? Pardon me. So, because of your knowledge of this area, friendly, you know how to get to where the map starts. That isn't an issue. You all aren't needed for guiding or tracking for this. So what are y'all doing? You other two. Snake's asleep. Why the bell ping?
I got-
There's at least 2 hours of that. I don't have to be in the saddle. Rook can handle the reins. It counts as me for purposes of the spell. So they for at least 2 hours, I'm going to set up. So if there's anything I can use from what we gathered that could be like a little writing desk, and just do like, I understand you do some schooling, and I'm going to like talk to her about her schooling while I'm continuing to. Did I finish fixing the automaton?
You made him work again. Yes? I don't
Okay.
remember if you were. I don't think the roll was good enough to get him all the way back to where he should be. But
Yeah, I felt like that. I felt like there was more work needed to get him really up to par.
He was
So that's
functioning. He was functioning well enough to not freak out the child.
yes.
yeah. So I'll continue to tune up. Uh, I don't know if it's an object. Remembering its name is so.
M. Hastings Chessman. I can remember
Yeah.
that name.
Yeah, that one.
Really
Sure.
like that name.
But fix it enough that it can also help participate in lessons. Reestablish some normalcy.
While you were working on it, Roz watches you, and she watches you. You would swear she's watching you coolly.
Great. It's good to know where I stand, and that's fine.
She's got sunglasses and a cigarette.
Man, if you've never experienced a child just cold-eyed staring at you,
Oh,
it's a
no.
special experience.
Oh no, I definitely have.
I can't even make the face, man. Adult faces don't do it that way.
It's a face you can only do before you fully learned empathy.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hastings will be engaging her with regular normalcy stuff, but uh, he will stop talking anytime you come nearby, and she will not answer any of your questions. Friendly.
Okay. That's fine.
And
I
isn't rude about it, but just doesn't should just you got a silent treatment from a child.
That's fine.
I'm sure you've never experienced that in your life.
It's a child. I don't actually take their opinions seriously. So, but it doesn't stop me from chit chatting and you know, talking about lessons, getting things up and running, having her, you know, help me if she can help with the automaton. I'll take a teamwork, or just, you know, is the voice right here? Hey, ask it a question you would usually ask. Just getting her to participate.
She has no interest in participating and
Oh.
says nothing at all to you. She just will
That's
not.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Cool. Though, do you want to make a roll for continue repair of Hastings? See how he's doing.
12.
You were able
Wait.
to. Oh, what?
14.
You were able to continue repairing him. Better. It's better now.
It continues to improve.
Yeah. It still seems like there's a few other things to do, but you're learning more about the way he was put together, and there's a degree of, I don't really understand this. I'm going to have to come back and look at it later. I'm tired of looking at this. That brains just do at some point, you know?
Most brains.
Yeah, most brains, but you still rolled a 12.
I, on the other hand, worship learning.
I understand, but it's still a 12.
Gag.
Sorry.
Eventually, I just have other shit to do. Like,
Sure. You can't worry at this problem anymore. There are other things.
oh yeah, it's important to keep to a schedule.
Anyone else doing anything in that 4 hours?
And we're traveling, right?
Mm-hmm. It's you're either in the box or you're on the steed. Really, it's up to you.
Is it an extra dimensional space? I worry about taking my instant fortress in there.
It is an extra dimensional space. You're
Your
not
fortress
supposed.
isn't.
Your fortress isn't an extra dimensional space. It's just compacted.
It's just
For
a
a
Navy
while.
raft.
It just shrunk.
Just fair enough.
We had established that you guys do not bring the
Bag of holding.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
a knapsack. That's not the word. The knapsacks that go around your belly. What are they called?
Fanny pack.
Fanny pack?
Fanny pack.
Oh yeah, the fanny pack of holding
Yeah.
with the water purifier.
It becomes a saddlebag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I won't take that in, but I will totally wearing my tiara. I will go in there and I doubt she'll play with me, but just to pass the time, I'll see if anyone else will play dragon chess. A cat? Oh my god.
Tuesday. You want to play chess?
No, I'm keeping a lookout outside.
Okay.
Rook will play with you if no one else does.
So once Friendly has left, so I assume that was the first 2 hours?
Yeah.
Sure.
Late morning,
Okay.
probably.
So, well,
After
once
breakfast.
Friendly has returned to the Chrome Horse.
Mm-hmm.
I love you guys. Hastings will play with you, and Roz is going to crawl out of the, not all the way out, but stick her head out of the box and like have a look around, and then start doing that thing that kids do in the wind where they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Hand out the window.
So now it's a child on a road trip. I got a chicken. Whee! There's occasional, like, yelling just because children
Mhm.
yell.
Remind me her species.
Aarakocra.
Okay, that's what I thought that's what it was, but I was wanting to make sure I was right.
Bird girl.
Bird girl. 6-limbed variety. Arms, legs, wings.
Yeah, I realized that's what you meant, but for a second I went right to octopus person.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We're not to the ocean yet, folks.
Yeah. And I realized an octopus is 8 legs, but you know what I meant.
Unless you tear 2 off.
Wow.
I don't have an excuse for that, honestly. I'm
No,
sorry.
you really don't.
I really
Cold.
Don't
Anyway.
don't try.
All right. So then they pass otherwise without incident. If there's anything you guys want to do before you start the road, we're good. Okay. So the landscape changes over these 4 hours at this fun little speed. From these, you were getting into the progressively lower sort of desert canyons, and it starts getting flatter and grassier and less sandy, and continues to do that until you're on somewhere that's sort of like very dry plains. Like, this isn't exactly the Midwest here, but there are things that are growing here and you haven't seen for quite a while. Nothing is green exactly. You know that dust look that you get on like a short cropped plain? It kind
Mhm.
of looks like that. There are the occasional like sagebrush, tumbleweed style, like small bushes with light protection seem to be doing all right here. Uh, and before long, you'll notice that below you, instead of it just being the direction you're heading, this is starting to clearly become a path. And around, you notice that it's a path, and then you look again and you are on a road. And very quickly after that, you hear the sound of water. And then to the uh, east? Yeah, east. I'm not looking at the map, sorry. To your east, a large river appears. You come upon the large river as it curves through the landscape. This is the Restless Channel. It is wide and flat. Think the Colorado River. It's clearly nutrient rich. You know, this is it's, you could definitely swim in it. There's probably clams. It's also probably a little bit muddy. Like, you might have gritty underwear after you swim in this. This isn't a high mountain river. That all make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, welcome to the. You find the chat. Let me see if I have a place to put you. One moment. Okay. All right. So I'll move you over to this one. Excellent. And I should probably actually have it open. So the concept of the map, have you all actually looked at it?
Not the
I could,
one you just moved us to, but the one on the Shining Expanse.
yes. To the Shining Expanse.
Mhm.
And I just moved you to a this is basically the encounter map that I'm using. It's not, yes, there are trees and boulders and bushes there, but it is nowhere near the screen. I just had to do something in a hurry to make there be a place for you to have encounters. So that's that. But if you look at the darn map, yep, I had it right. It's to the east. The road roughly follows the river. Sometimes you're going to be closer to it. Other times you're going to be much further away from it. You know that you're on the way to the first, like, resting area, Boona Rest. And I don't know if you read it, but what you do know and what you were able to gather from, what you all know from your combined knowledge and what you asked the Winari together, there we go. Boona Rest was once a town. Both its former name, both it and its former name were deserted before the previous twist of the cube. Local travelers found that by leaving a boon in the ruins' cathedral-like center, they would be allowed to a protected rest, and over the time, the name became Boona Rest. It is an official landscape thing. It's functionally, you know, it's a rest area, that there's one there, but none of you have ever been there. Are there any questions about the map or the landscape up to there that I can answer before we get moving forward?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You're eyeball scouting, right? Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay. So, at some point on this surprisingly flat, it is mostly flat here. There's a little bit of lumpiness, but you've got a pretty flat landscape ahead of you. And after not too terribly long, you see what from this distance looks like a bunch of moving flat boulders. You're not really sure what they are yet. If you have a spyglass, that might help, or a scope, but there's a thing moving up there.
I don't specifically have a scope.
Do you specifically have a spyglass?
No.
Those
Well-
things are expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I do see really far away. Like,
Tell me.
everything about my character is being able to see at long distance.
Tell me. Well,
Like,
this is, yeah, no one else can even see at this point yet. You just know that there's these sort of like long river rocks moving in the distance. Do you do or say anything before?
wait, when you say distance, like ballpark.
I don't know how far you can see, but I'm talking about the end of that.
Okay.
This is the tiny line on the chart.
I can shoot 120 feet away without penalty.
It is definitely further than that. There, I dropped you all on the map.
Okay, is anyone outside with me?
Roz is.
Yeah.
Was that yes? You are.
Yeah.
There's things moving up
I would
ahead.
also be out.
Okay, there's things moving up ahead in the distance.
Well, we'll have to be ready.
As you get closer and the scene starts developing itself, you see you get shapes and you get legs, and then they're sort of jointed maybe, and you eventually go, oh, it's dinosaurs. And it is a herd of ankylosaurs that is, of course, crossing the road in front of you.
Would I happen to know what an ankylosaur is?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, they're ankylosaurs.
Cool.
I just gotta move
Wish they
them
were
up
faster.
to your level. There we go.
Nice.
I mean,
They are going the opposite direction from what side the token is facing. I just didn't flip it before I copied it a bunch. Sorry.
that's all right.
They're moonwalking across the plains.
They are
Impressive.
now.
Well, we're not going to flatten a tire if we go off road. So, I mean, there's no reason not to just go around them, right?
Are you going
And
to go around them closer to the water or away from the water?
and they're migrating, not stampeding, right?
That's correct. They
Okay.
are moving. I don't know how many of y'all grew up in cow towns, but you know how the cows sometimes just herd themselves. In fact, you depend on them to just herd themselves. That's what's happening. They're just herding themselves.
Hmm. Just wait for him to pass. If it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it'll be more than a few minutes.
They're
But
not
should
they're
I?
not moving particularly fast, and they are stopping to eat, so there's a grazing happening along the way. So it might take a while.
Yeah.
Gotcha. They're in no hurry.
No.
Yeah. Let's go around. We're just sitting here for an ambush, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So you can
Long way around.
go east closer to the river or west closer to the mountains.
At this point in time, how much time is left on the disc and the horse?
Is it every hour you have to
Yeah.
refresh them? You're going to have to refresh them within about 20 minutes. You got
Okay.
about 20 minutes.
It's like looking over at the water, looking around, thinking through like if I was going to set an ambush or be an ambush predator, looking at the water. I need to reset the horse anyway. If anybody needs to take a pee break, we'll get over there and then. Long story short, I'll see you in a moment. And I begin recasting the disc first.
Roz starts insisting that Hastings tell her everything it can about ankylosaurs, which of course she's calling ankle sores.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
The benefit of that is now you guys know the those of you who are in the box or immediately near the box know the everything that's on the monster manual entry for ankylosaurs.
But she just asked a robot about ankle sores. He's reciting from a medical journal.
He's a robot that's also very used to this child and has context awareness.
I know, it's just funny.
I'm sure he's correcting her pronunciation as well.
It can be caused by footwear and
All right, recastings end.
Once I cast the disc and everyone's regathered on it.
Does the kid need to pee or anything?
She has been taking care of her own business in the river that flows through
Right.
the little creek.
Cool.
So is this world using standard Aarakocra aging? I'm just getting a gauge for like how old she is.
Yeah, what age group are we dealing with?
Right, 5, 10.
The short answer is yes, it is. And you have roll a dang,
Insight.
what do I need to make you roll for this? Is it
Insight?
insight?
I don't know. Nature?
Nature, medicine, or insight?
Medicine? That makes sense.
Medicine is knowing how bodies work, and that's, yeah.
Like, you can roll a medicine to figure out how old she... Oh, look. The DM screen works and just hides me. Interesting. Okay. You can roll an insight, but also you could try a... I would also allow an investigation. So, medicine is going to be about Aarakocra and her, and investigation is going to be about her, but not also Aarakocra. This sounds weird, but I will allow either.
Okay. I have better roll in medicine. I'll guidance first as I contemplate. Well, good thing I did the guidance. That makes it a 14.
Okay. And I have to remind myself of Aarakocra aging really quick. It's also been a minute for me, even though I'm literally paying one and the other. Yeah, I know it's fast. I just don't remember how fast. So, one moment. Okay. So your guess, knowing what you know, medicine you rolled, right?
Hmm.
So, Arakokra, as an Arakokra, she would be less than 1 year old.
Okay.
About the human equivalent of 6 or 7.
Okay.
You have like a first grader here. That's you got a 14 or a 12?
Mhm. 14.
Yeah. That's what you know.
That's what I needed to know.
So the dimensions of the chest are such that it's really only comfortable for 2 of you, adult-sized creatures, to be sitting out of it at one time with the lid open. So you can't have all 3 of you out there at one time unless you're a little squishy.
More specifically, the disc won't carry too much.
Wait. Too much weight. I was not telling you to wait. I was finishing.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, I was going to end it too much. It just won't carry too much.
That was
You're
great.
right.
Anyway. So how are you all moving forward as you go around, as you re-up to go around?
Oh, if we all get in the box, I can handle it across the herd, and then I'll resummon the horse. I leap off the ground, click my heels together, and then don't land.
Aha. Roz scrambles back inside. Those of you inside hear her say, Hastings, he can fly. I will stop playing a 1-year-old soon, or first grader soon, I'm sure. Anyway.
And then once everybody's set, I will just run up and over the ankylosaurus.
So you're going mountain direction?
I'm going directly over.
Oh, you were,
I
all right.
I'm Peter Panning it, and oh wait, the disc doesn't fly. Never mind.
No,
This
you're not.
isn't as clever an idea as I thought.
I
Sorry,
wondered, but
been a while.
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. It'll never happen again.
10 feet. Okay. Sorry, it's been once again been a minute. So yeah, we can just go. Oh, this side. That's mountainside, right?
Mountainside is west.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think mountainside's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do it with horse or you do it on foot?
With horse.
Okay. Are you on the horse? Rook is flying. Tuesday and Sumasaur, what are you guys doing?
If Hastings is watching the kid, I'm still outside keeping a lookout.
Okay. Half a cat out of box.
Yeah.
Sumasaur, are you in the box? Okay. I just who's inside, who's outside, because I need to know whose perception matters. That's why I'm asking. Okay. All right. So
anytime I don't have a child to worry about, I am watching the horizon.
As I recall, your horse makes clopping noises.
No, it makes a low hovercraft hum.
Okay.
It's set up like a hover cycle.
Okay, there were clopping noises for a
Oh,
while,
that's
but
the
that's
engine.
fine. All right. So, very I don't know. I want to say like a herd of elephants, but I haven't ever actually seen a herd of elephants. So, but very like cows. As you are coming closer to that side, there's sort of a look up and a little bit of moving slightly faster out of your away from you. They're keeping that distance range between themselves and other beings that all animals have. But they don't bother you or seem startled. And you make it past them just fine. Tuesday, as they are, as you all have come just past them, you hear a screech from the air closer to the water. And look, you guys, I know where you're at, but you can move yourselves if you would like to. Doot, doot. See if that works. It did. And see 3 griffins. Well, you see 2 griffins dive out of the air and one other circling above at a ankylosaur that is just slowly, this one's old, sick, or weak, whatever.
Right.
The circle of life is happening near you.
As a bonus action, I will cast Sanctuary on the steed.
Neat.
Unless it's self only. Man, my spells. I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's okay. You can review your spells in a minute because we're close to a stopping point. Also for me and my bios. My curls are so much fun to
Ew.
touch. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I can do a creature within range. Okay, the horse is good.
So for those of you interested in watching the griffin successfully take down, it is just a eagle with a lion's weight, just punches right into an ankylosaur, and the rest start running much faster. And then there's, tearing and shreds and things, but it's getting further and further away in the distance.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I don't interfere.
Okay. You now know that the plains have apex predators.
I assumed they did.
Yeah, but now you know it.
Because it's an ecosystem.
So what I'm hearing is we need to keep an ankylosaur around to bait the predators.
I mean, you do have someone that's near dinosaur.
I don't doubt that's what you're hearing.
You continue on without incident. And you see, unless you're looking for anything in particular, you see, as very few signs of biped life. Not a lot of travelers get up this way. The road is well enough built, but it's not, or well enough run over. I don't know how to exactly explain that it's a little better than a dirt road. But it would be bumpy if you had wheels. There would be potholes aplenty had you wheels. I can't hear you, Allison. You are muted.
I was thinking like a road that's paved with gravel instead of.
It's not
like,
gravel yet.
actually-
It's not gravel yet. It's just dirt road.
Cool.
Gravel happens eventually.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
As you're staring around the landscape, you see the occasional bird or, small furry mammal or fish jumping, but nothing else, and the sun is beginning to set. Are you all going to ride through the night, or are you going to try and make camp?
What a nice day. I think we should make camp.
Yeah, I assumed so.
You do
Especially
have
with our cargo.
Instant fortress.
Does Rook sleep?
Shit. I'm gonna actually go with no.
Okay.
He's not he can poof and come back. He's not exactly real in the same way and has the same needs in the same way. I think Rook kills for fun, but doesn't need to eat as much.
He's celestial. So we could theoretically put the steed on. No, I'd have to only for an hour. If I'm going to rest, it needs a recast. Okay, so, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm all right pushing myself if you all want to rest for the night.
Yeah.
How long do we still have ahead of us for this journey? Estimate.
This is the end of day 1. You have another 4 days.
Okay.
But we could clip a half a day off that.
If you're friendly, if you're fine riding through, I have no objections. But, that's your choice.
Yeah, I mean, I can. I'll do 40-minute naps. Wake up, do rituals, cat naps. Oh, that was a joke on me, not you. That's. I see
How
that.
many nights are you gonna do that in a row, though?
I mean, the code will sustain me.
I don't believe much in the code.
If we get into a scrap, I'll need to rest. Once I have to expend spells and things, I'll need to rest if something stressful happens. But as long as it's just this,
I would like to
nice.
remind you that those of you who will be sleeping in the box will have to roll to be able to sleep. It is survival checks to sleep in there because it's so friggin' bright.
Yeah,
But not in the instant
sounds
fortress.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured
Okay.
we'd put up the dinosaur's house and then sleep in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just
I love this group.
Yeah.
I just don't see the point in trying to is there a reason to clip half a day off? Like, why don't we just rest like normal people, friendly?
I don't understand the question.
I'm not the right. First off, I think you mean common. But I am not the only astrologist or the only astronomer, both really, that watched that star fall out of the night sky.
You're trying to get there before others.
I would like to be among the first.
Like I said, you go right ahead. I have no objection, but it's your body.
Of course, I wouldn't ask any of you to sacrifice for my goals.
I don't want to sleep in the box. It's so sunny.
No, we put the house up in the box.
What? You can do
it? Inside the box is open sky. We can put up your house inside the box. It's not a secondary dimension. It's just an inflatable house.
Oh, weird.
We erect a
bouncy
castle. We erect a bouncy castle in the bird girl's backyard and sleep in it. The dragon person pulls out an inflatable house in the bird girl's backyard, and them and the cat and the robot all sleep in it, while the wolfman drives a robotic horse.
This is an adult fairy tale, folks.
Lasers and Liches.
Somebody once.
Oh.
That is the theme song, isn't it? Oh. I imagine that's Sumosaur's entrance music. It's just that first word. And they cut it.
All right, so adamantine fortress inside the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not dying of laughter. When you set it up, Roz has never seen this and is fascinated and starts asking you questions about it, Sumasaur.
Questions you can't answer.
Yep.
I've found it.
Yeah. It's gonna be, how big is it? Who made it? How many rooms are there? What's it made out of? How do you know that? Like, just
Well,
rapid
and
fire.
I'll tell her, like, I don't know the answers to a lot of those questions, but do you want to try? And then I'll make it small again, and then I'll hand it to her and tell her the word that triggers it.
The sumo wrestler, enormous, friendly dinosaur hands the cube to the tiny little thing, and her eyes are so big, just like, yeah, I do. And she sort of like says the word and kind of tosses it, and it, there's
Everybody takes 15d10.
the ground takes 15d10. There's a thunk and like, oh,
Oh.
like she tosses it out away from her.
When
But
when we take it away, it's gonna be like if there was like an above ground pool there, like all the grass will have died.
I was gonna say we ruined her lawn.
She ruined her lawn. It's better when you break your own things. She was very happy to do that.
This is a magical spot. It probably regrows quickly. Take the house away.
What would you like for your kid's magical backyard? Sales at Lowe's.
A 20-foot skeleton, of course.
I was like, I can afford this, and I didn't, and I'm proud of myself, but I almost did that. Max would kill me.
D&D is owned by Hasbro. There's not, it's not impossible. There's not a 0% chance that this merch could happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're catnapping, Rook's driving. Tuesday, you're what? Sleeping and occasionally coming out, or what?
We're in the house sleeping.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to be in the same room as Roz. Even in this place, I still set up my booby traps on the entrances because I can't not.
As you're doing that, she allows you to be in the same room as her, and she asks you what you're doing, and will keep insisting until you explain booby traps to her.
Oh, I don't hesitate. I explain to her exactly what it is.
Just the persistence.
These are things so that if anyone tries to enter, I hear it, and it's just something that helps me feel safer.
She's going to be asking you about the physics and details, like this is a lesson.
I'll set up the smallest one possible and trigger it for her so she sees what happens. And it's a small glass bottle that makes a surprising amount of noise when it breaks. Like more than it should. It's a certain way you can blow glass that it makes it shatter really loud.
Yeah. Hastings is in the downstairs region and just folds up. Like, it's almost like he's conserving power, just like faintly glowy eyes. I should have made them red, but whatever. Sumasaur in the tub of ramen. You guys have a ramen trough. This I remember.
It's empty by morning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Got the ramen trough.
Friendly, you are staying astride the horse and napping there, or tell me how this is working.
Of the New Hampshire ramen troughs.
I'm scrawny enough. I'm just gonna tuck up on the floating disc, and just like put a little blanket, be behind the horse, so I'm not catching the wind, but leaned up against the box.
Okay. You At the end of the night, I'm gonna need a survival check, depending on sort of what happens. So,
Okay.
this is how you all are passing the evening. Before things happen, we're going to stop for a break because it's so much fun to make things happen. Ooh, nighttime. If you've been enjoying Starfall, it'd be great if you followed us or liked us or told us you like us, or either you like my face or Allison's face.
I love all your faces.
Thank you all for watching our Dungeons and Dragons game. We'll be back very shortly for us and just a click away for you. We'll see you again in the future. Have a good game.